Down there for Fitzroy by Big Coleman. Up towards full forward. Quinlan in front. Out of bounds. And a boundary throw in right forward pocket for Fitzroy. As I said, they only need a few points to kick their highest ever score against North Melbourne. And you can have London to a brick that they'll do that. Cowton to Law. Trying to find Kelly. Too long for him. Side bottom and McCann. McCann gets a better bounce. Out of bounds. Left centre wing. Fitzroy crowd have been very happy right throughout the day because they started off in fine fashion. Then even when North came back in the second quarter, Fitzroy still looked the better side. Dempsey trying to get the front position from Rendell, which he does. Palm down. Parrish is there. McDonald tackles him, almost thrown out to Harris, who tries a Socceroo type tactic to try and get hold of it. Not successful. Bounced by umpire Kevin Smith on centre wing. Ruse keeps it in play. Harris is there. I don't think he did. It's out of bounds. And the throw-in will take place still on the centre wing position, possibly slightly favouring Fitzroy's end. Well, Harris, there's another good player.
Played very well, Peter.
Fitzroy have had a few bad ones, as I said, if any. Knocked down by Rendell this time, or Harris collided then with his teammate Mickey Conlon. We'll see a ball.
Ball up on the centre wing position. 90 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. And we're just over the 2-minute mark of this last quarter. Bit of a bustle going on between Parrish and Glendenning. Ball punched out again by Fitzroy. Conlon goes the knock on again. Then McCann. No one seems to be wanting to grab the ball, but the umpires found a free kick. This time it'll go to Doug Dale on the centre wing position for North Melbourne. Well, they've been light on for good players today, North Melbourne. There's about 4 of them out there. The rest you could raffle. Out it goes to centre half 4. There's a good mark to Glendenning. Be about 60 metres out. Gone for a short pass. It could be a dangerous run. Buckley takes the mark at centre half forward. A long hand pass. Demetrio. Back again. It goes to Schimmelbusch, but he fumbled. Doesn't play too well today, yells Schimmer. Back to centre field. There's the mark to McMahon. No, he's not paying the mark. The ball is finally tapped out now to Hodgman. Hodgman clear, goes for a short pass. And there'll be a free kick there to McDonald against Serafini. This defence of Fitzroy has been superb today. Not worrying about taking the big spectacular marks. Using the spoiling tactics. And, of course, they've had all these North Melbourne forward players well covered. McDonald going for goal number 2. And, of course, goal number 11 for North Melbourne. Not a murmur from the outer there where the North Melbourne supporters are. And you can't blame them because they'd be pretty upset about their team's performance today.
In fact, they haven't gone home.
There's the kick by McDonald. Won't come around enough, and it's through for 1 point. So they move on to 10 goals, 66. That's one consolation. They've kicked pretty accurately. For Fitzroy, 24-11, 155 as we wait now for the ball to come back into play. Kick out there towards that half back line. Going after it now is Osborne. Goes down. This gives Schimmelbusch a chance to pick it up. Gets clear. Then he finally throws it out this time to Buckley. Down he goes. They've been slipping over all day, North Melbourne. This allows Parrish to get clear. He shows them how to get away from a pack that time and clears it out now. Down there towards that half-forward line. Flying high was McCann, but there's 3 Fitzroy players there as it's tapped on. The ball knocked along the ground by Conlon. Still going after. He's got a chance to score here now, but Greg chips in. And finally Greg can't get clear. It's McMahon giving a hand pass. Henshaw's there. Wilson kicked off the ground. And it's another goal.
Put him in the Socceroo spot, I think.
Well, they certainly messed about that time, but they made hard work. That's the first time they made hard work of the goal, Fitzroy, but they finally got it through.
25-11, 161 to 10-6-66. No, it's one of those, well, it was all soccer down here, wasn't it?
That's right. But there's no doubt about it with that example, Pete. When you're hot, and when you're not, don't you reckon?
Certainly was, and Gary Wilson putting it through. Getting the game at Olympic Park tomorrow, I think. 5 minutes gone, final quarter. And that is the record score for Fitzroy against North Melbourne. McCann, right half-back flank. Oh, Cox met very heavily, and that was a solid clash with Fury. Gee, that hurt. Harris Up to half forward. Greg chips in with a good mark. Plays on. Brings it around the centre wing. Mark taken out there by McDonald. That's Dean Dugdale, rather. Dugdale looking for Glendinning. Osborne could have got into his back. Umpire says play on, or will it be a free kick? No, play on. Caught it. Back to the wing position again. McMahon and Law. Well caught. Holding the ball. Free kick going to the Fitzroy veteran. Speaking of Fitzroy veterans, Warwick Irwin has just come back on. After a stint at Collingwood, I believe this is his first senior game back. Conlon goes down. Gets up. Now he's getting on top of Greg. Looks for Leon Harris, who fumbles unaccountably because he's played well today. Cowton chipping in well. Holden. Buckley dummies the handball well. Back to McCann from centre field. Schimmelbusch and Osborne. Schimmer wins this one. Gets around Carlson. Brings it back in towards the 10-metre square. And a fine mark to Glendinning. Just off the edge of the square. And he has a chance to bring up his fourth goal. Ross Glendinning only a few metres out from goal. One would venture to suggest would put it through from there. And he has missed. Well.
Well, you could say it's not North Melbourne's day today, Pete.
I think I would say 25-11, 161 to 10-7, 67.
Just over 7 minutes gone of this last quarter. Waiting on Pert to get the ball back. And of course, North Melbourne would certainly be a little bit shell-shocked from their performance here today. Fitzroy have really blitzed them from the very word go. A magnificent first quarter, was pretty even in the second, but that third quarter was just out of this world for the Lions. They kicked 11 goals to North Melbourne's 2. Here we see the ball grabbed by Thornton, shot across towards centre half forward, but plenty of Fitzroy players there as Conlon breaks clear. Going to go for a bit of a run now to show him how good he is. He's fumbled, but it's not his day-to-day, and down goes a North Melbourne player. I think it could have been Cowton, finally picked up by McCann, and now we see Rendell on the boundary line. He's kicked 7 goals, goes for a long hand pass to Conlon, got a chance to score goal number 3. Has a flying shot at the goals, not a bad shot of a kick either, and it's a goal. So they move on to 26 goals, 11-167. And they're making this hiding look all the bigger against North Melbourne. 10-7-67. Just over the 8-minute mark of this last quarter. We see it back in replay now. Rendell slips on the boundary line here. But this doesn't stop him from giving the hand pass over there to Conlon. An incident, that's a beautiful shot for goal from that angle out there too. Back to the centre again. Knocked out by Harris, I think he got that one to Crack, who's been a very quiet player. Ball knocked away from Hinchen that time by Heitman. It's out of bounds about 65 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. And goals are scarce at the moment for North
Bottom. Contesting with McDonald. Parrish runs into Demetriou, tries to tap it to Carlson. Osborne from centre field. No tackle. Short pass. Right down the throat of Irwin, who can score his first goal for the day. Again, no tackle, and Irwin has put it through. So, North Melbourne, where are you?
About the only guy that hasn't scored a goal for Fitzroy is the head trainer, I'd reckon. They're kicking them from everywhere, Peter.
Let's look at this one. No tackle there. Irwin on his own. And he can run as far as he likes because no one's on the mark. I think there'll be a few hard nights at Arden Street during the week. Back into the centre. We're approaching the 10-minute mark now of the final term. It's 173-67. Great exhibition of football by Fitzroy. This is their record score against North Melbourne, remember. And here goes Serafini. Well, maybe he can kick one. He gives it over to Carlson. Carlson's clear it, left half forward. A shot at goal by Lee. Carlson. Is another one. Or is it a point? It's one behind. 174-67. So what's that? 107 points. That's a hiding, whichever way you say it. Dench. Beautiful kick in. McMahon can't trap the ball. On the boundary line, it's Law. Back to Kelly. Opposition from Clayton. Kelly moving well. He's gone for a short pass. That's effective. Ross Glendinning's mark, but a long way from goal. A 15-metre penalty. This will bring Glendinning almost to within kicking distance. And that one scraped in just about for a score. So he should be able to put this one through. He's kicked 3 goals, Glendinning. Remember that he started the game at centre half back. Was moved to half forward when McCann was well beaten by Laurie. But North have had few good forwards today. Glendinning is their leading goal kicker. Fury has 2. Singles to the rest. So Glendinning from 35 metres out. And what's he done with that one? It's 1 behind. And so the scoreboard reading 174 to 68. 11 and a half minutes have gone in the final term.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play now. And of course the only interest in this game now is to see how many goals that Fitzroy can score as it comes out in out of side bottom on his own. He fumbled that one. This gives Schimmelbusch a chance to pick it up out there on that wing position, but he got a touch of the fumbles and it's out of bounds. So nothing going North Melbourne's way at the moment. Dempsey against side bottom. Knocked out by side bottom. Tapped out again towards Holden on out there on the wing position. Goes for a short pass and he's passed it straight to Conlon. My golly, I've never seen so many players make so many mistakes in one game. Now's a chance for Irwin to get clear. Goes for a hand pass. Intercepted by Henshaw. He'll get a free kick. Grabbed by Irwin when he didn't have the ball. And Henshaw takes the free kick. Goes for a pass out wide. Looking for Buckley. Matter of fact, this fellow hasn't played a bad game for North Melbourne. One of their real goers today. The ball goes out wide to Dempsey. Side bottom goes for the knockout, but misses it. Demetriou fumble. Carlson's after him. Finally, it's picked up by Schimmelbusch. His kick is a high one back there towards the forward pocket. Chance now for Few to mark, but in the way is Pert. Goes for a hand pass again. There's plenty of Fitzroy players loose here. Out wide again. It's Osborne getting a hand pass out for Carlson again. Fumbles the ball, but finally gets clear again as he goes for a short pass. Looking for McMahon in the front posse and takes the mark out there at half forward, about 70 metres out from goal. There's a chance for Bernie Quinlan. He's marked it. He's already kicked 6 goals. He'd only be about 35 metres out on a very slight angle. Bernie Quinlan. Al Superboot himself firing at the goals. This time it's off target and through for 1 point. So Fitzroy move on to 27 goals, 13, 175 to North Melbourne, 10-8-68. Just on the 13.5-minute mark of this last quarter.
David Dench has had plenty of work today. Thornton and Holden. Holden's kick of a short one. Demetriou in front of Carlson on this occasion gets offloaded with a pretty good bump, and it gives Carlson the chance to pick up. He's gone for a short pass. Intercepting again is Holden. Back to centre field, Glendinning. Well, who's come down with that one? Cox behind or Glendinning? I think it might be Glendinning's, it is. Literally a lone hand by him on North Melbourne's forward line. Once moved there, Buckley. He's got a mark or a free kick. What did he like? And Buckley would be, let me see, about 45 to 50 metres from goal. Academic interest, I guess, whether he kicks it or not, because it's not going to make much difference to the end result. It has been well and truly a bath. North have kicked only 2 goals after half-time. They haven't kicked 1 in this quarter yet. And that's let's play on at the moment. Now it's a point. It just rolled through, and so the scoreboard still a deficit of over 100 points to North Melbourne, 175 to 60. Pert will bring the ball back into play. Brings it to the member stand side. At the back is Rendell. In the middle is McCann. In the front was Roos. Roos wins out. Oh, Hodgman chased it, then stopped. Irwin. Conlon. Clear of Gregg. Retarded and dropped it. Knocked out and into his back. That's got to be a free kick. Stupid free kick.
Might have been a bit lucky that time, Conlon, trying to do that little bit too much, but got away with it that time, Peter.
He got away with it. The free kick was there. You're right, I agree with you. Point taken. But that's Mickey Conlon, isn't it? Yes, into his back. So Mickey Conlon has kicked 3 goals, and I think I'm correct in saying all of those have been after half-time. Directly in front, 45 metres out. 4 goals to Conlon. The Lions further ahead. Scoreboard reading 28 goals, 13, 181 to 10-9-69.
Well, up until about halfway through the third quarter, Greg was well on top of him, and now he's kicked, 4 goals after that mark, and it makes him look a reasonably good player. But just the same, Keith Gregg's been a great battler for North Melbourne today.
16 and a half minutes have gone in the final term. Can Fitzroy record their greatest ever winning margin against North?
There we see the ball kicked back by Parrish. Another fine player for Fitzroy. There down goes Gregg. Beautiful play on the part of the North Melbourne half-back. Goes for a long kick over the centre half-forward position. Glendenning in position. Couldn't hold the mark. Still fumbling down there in attack. Hinchin goes for the hand pass out, looking for Osborne. He shrugs an opponent off. Goes for a long hand pass to Irwin. Irwin clear at centre field. A long kick down there towards the half-forward line. McMahon in position. Couldn't grab the mark. Cleared away nicely by Law. Plenty of Fitzroy players. The great mark taken here by Sidebottom. He's been a handy player too, but he's had plenty of mates. Beautiful pass out for Conlon. Now running loose a bit, going for goal number 5. And there's the kick. Not a bad sort of a shot either. Another goal for Conlon. Goal number 5. Well, that makes Keith Gregg look not such a good performance. It's a bit of bad luck, but Conlon well on top now. 29 goals, 13, 187 Fitzroy to North Melbourne, 10-9-69. And what a bath North Melbourne are getting. Well, I think he had 1 kick up until half-time, and now he's finished up with 5 goals, and now he's going to be on the good players list. So you can be a bit stiff, Keith Gregg, but he might be tired because he's been doing most of the work down there in defence. We see Schimmelbusch get the ball out there towards that half-forward line, but there's no one there for North. Backing up well as Clayton gets a hurried kick out wide to Carlson. He's played a great game too, this fellow. Picks it up beautifully out there. Goes for a bit of a run, gets away from Buckley, a hand pass back to Osborne. Back it goes to Carlson again down there in the forward pocket. As a putt shot at the goals. It's a high one in front of the goals. Chance here for Harris, another goal. No, he's missed it through for another point. We just keep on saying another goal because you think every kick they have at the goals is going to be a full score, but that time was a point. And the score was 29 goals, 14, 188. Golly, I hate to mention this to North Melbourne supporters, 10-9-69.
You say it slowly, it doesn't sound so bad. Dempsey and Sidebottom. Sidebottom's marked. 7 marks to Gary Sidebottom. A short pass out to half-forward. He's looking for Parrish, who runs into the pocket, snaps it back. Quinlan's there. Can't take it on the half-volley. Looks for Conlon, or in fact anybody. Out it goes to Harris. Back to Quinlan. Oh, missed it. He went without it. Conlon does the shepherding. A chance for Quinlan. Almost caught. Around Dench. Is caught. Conlon. Snap it, goal. 1 behind. At the 19-minute mark, final quarter, it's 189-69. So that equals their best ever winning margin against North. A fair bet, I think they'd stay in front by that margin. A push out, says the umpire. Free kick to North Melbourne, Steve McCann. So a bad dent in the percentage of North Melbourne. That's the important thing. They've already lost the 4 points. That little fight by the Kangaroos after half-time. Mark taken by Cox. He was one of their interchange players, and he's done fairly well since he came on too. Serafini grabs it on centre wing. I don't know what he's doing up there because he's their full-back, so he's a long way from home, as it were.
He wants a kick. It's not going down his end in defence.
He might want to kick a goal. Short pass to Osborne. It's keepings off at the moment, virtually, isn't it? Sidey. Now to left half forward. Parrish and Demetriou. Running past is Carlson. Carlson going goalwards at a great rate of knots. In towards the 10-metre square. Could even be a goal. Knocked back by Carlton. Goal! Carlson puts in another one. 3 goals to Lee Carlson. 30 goals on the board now. That's a milestone. 30-15. 195. 10-9. 60.
Certainly playing a great game as we get the centre bounce again. Knocked out by Sidebottom. The ball back into attack again. It's coming down here like nobody's business. Raining goals for Fitzroy as Law picks the ball up. Kicks it back towards side bottom. He dropped that mark for a change. Finally picked up by Shimmerbush. Chance now to send them deep into attack. It's a long kick at the goal, but he's off target, and it's through for 1 point. So they go to 10 goals, 10-70. North Melbourne to Fitzroy, 30 goals, 15, 195. This is a game that North Melbourne will remember for a long, long time. The ball kicked back again now. A chance for Kelly. Tapped on again by Osborne. Back there to Roos out there on the centre wing position. Back to Osborne again. They're doing as they like at the moment. Fitzroy with very little opposition from North Melbourne. The ball back towards the side bottom. Another hand pass to Irwin. Loose man all over the place. Side bottom at centre half forward. A long kick. That's not a bad sort of a kick either by side bottom. Looking there for Quinlan. Picked up by Cowton. Spins away nicely down there in the back pocket. Gets a hurried kick. But there's a chance now for Roos to take the mark. He does. A hand pass. Coming over here again to Collins. Already kicked 5 goals since half-time to Irwin. Snap up towards the full forward position. Knocked away that time by McMahon. Picked up by Bernie Quinlan. Stopped there by Dempsey. Not Dempsey, it's Law. Going on top of the ball now is Greg. A bit of a fumble going on by Greg, and the umpire will ball it up right on the edge of the square.
17 goals to 2 have been scored by Fitzroy since half-time, Lou.
Well, that'll beat any side, won't it? Waiting now for this bounce. Could be another goal coming up for Fitzroy because they're doing it so easily. Quinlan has a snap, and that's another goal, I would say. Yes, sir. Goal number 7 to Bernie Quinlan. And, of course, the scoreboard now reads 31 goals, 15, 201 points, Fitzroy. The North Melbourne getting the biggest bath I've seen them have for many, many years. 10 goals, 10-70.
Well, every time we do a North match, it's one-sided one way. We saw them annihilate Carlton out at the Arden Street ground. Gave them a football lesson, and they're getting one themselves here this afternoon. That's why it's so hard to pick winners in season 1983. And we're both in the same boat there. Well, North Melbourne were on top. They won't be after tonight. Fitzroy held top spot for 7 weeks. They could be back there again today. 201-70. An amazing scoreboard. Dempsey to Buckley. Buckley couldn't do much with it. He's got a second chance. Phil Kelly just wide of centre. Up to full forward. Glendinning is there. Can't take the mark. Now he's got another go. Almost grabbed on the leg. A snapshot by Glendinning. Rolls out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in the right forward pocket for the Kangaroos. Fitzroy have never really looked like losing this match. The only quarter they were outscored was the second, and then it was only a few points. Rendell and Dempsey. A stalemate. We'll see a ball up, or a bounce if you'd prefer. So Dempsey to do battle again in the ruck with Matt Rendell. Fury looks for the hand pass, can't take it. Irwin, Holden and Thornton, and out of bounds. So our viewers in the United States through ESPN watching a fine football, we could say exhibition by Fitzroy. The competition hasn't been that great this afternoon from North Melbourne, despite the fact they're the league's top side, or they were until today. It's a great level of VFL football, isn't it? Knocked down by Keith Gregg. A chance for McMahon to pick the ball up. Scoots out the hand pass. I don't know for whom that was intended. It's taken by Holden. Hinchin in the back pocket has been safe all day and took a great mark in the first quarter. One of the best this year. Roos and Kelly. Roos in front. He's been a good player, and this fellow has done well since he came on too. Cox, and even with the fumble, made amends to Roos. Back to little Hinchin, caught by Glendinning, shrugs the tackle well. Kelly gets it up towards full forward. Hinchin again. Now it's Pert. Side bottom and McCann. At the back is Wilson, and Wilson takes a fine mark.
Great mark to Wilson. Back into attack again. Oh, to see little Leon Harris miss, but then he finally recovers back to McMahon. Another one coming over here to Conlon for goal number 6. A snap at the goal. It's goal number 6 to Conlon. Well, there's no doubt about this guy. You keep him down for about 2.5 quarters, and he starts to fire. Of course, since about halfway through the third quarter, he's kicked 6 goals. I think he had his second kick in the match about halfway through the third quarter too. And now you say he's played a great game with 6 goals on the board. But in fairness to the other players at Fitzroy, the game was well over when he started kicking the goals. So I think Mickey Conlon would realise that too, because Keith Gregg up until that stage of the match had really put him out of business. But the pressure's been too much for Keith Gregg because he's had very little assistance down there with his other 5 defenders. We're waiting now for that knockout by McDonald. Finally it comes back to Buckley from a hand pass from Fury. Down towards the forward pocket. There's Little Hinchin taking a great mark in the back pocket. Their defence has been superb, even though the guys up the other end in the attack are getting all the glamour. But those fellas down there haven't made a mistake all day as the ball is finally picked up by Parrish. Another fine player for Fitzroy. They're all over the ground. There's a go now for North Melbourne to get the ball through Fury. Down he goes. The umpire said he was pushed too high, and he'll take the free kick out there on the centre wing position. A quick hand pass coming over to Hodgman. Another one back to McDonald at centre half forward. Back to Holden. But they're messing about again. They've kicked 19 goals to North Melbourne's 2 since half-time. Well picked up that time by Serafini. Goes for a pass over to Roos. Well, they've won right across the centre. Back to Wilson. They're doing it so easy, it doesn't really matter. And there's a pass and a mark there to McMahon. So they're getting very little opposition from this defence of North Melbourne's at the moment. Yes, they've kicked 19 goals to 2 since half-time. So it's only wonder that North Melbourne have had such a hiding. There the ball is to Conlon, now going for goal number 7. And this makes him look a champion player. Really it does. And he is a champion, let's be honest about that. But he was well covered, as I mentioned before, for 2.5 quarters by Gregg. But you've got to keep him down all the time, because that's why he is a champion, because he bounces back. The kick. There it is. That's goal number 7 of Mickey Conlon. The crowd love him here at Fitzroy, and no wonder. 33 goals, 15, 213 Fitzroy to North Melbourne, 10-10-70. Well, there's no doubt about it. I reckon up until about three-quarter time, I wouldn't have had him in Fitzroy's first 7 or 8 players. And, of course, now you've got to put him in the running for one of their 3 or 4 best players. Kids coming on the ground. Not many North Melbourne supporters, I shouldn't imagine. They'd mostly be Fitzroy because they've been well and truly done today. Ball kicked right down there towards that forward pocket. There's Hinchin coming out again to take the mark out there at half-back. They've kicked 20 goals to 2 goals since half-time, Fitzroy. It's only wonder that and they've kicked the last 14 goals straight, so that's a fine effort by this Fitzroy team down at the Junction Oval. We're at the 28.5-minute mark as the ball is out there on that half-back flank position, but not getting much opposition from North Melbourne at the moment as Parrish kicks the ball down. They're looking for Roos. Punched out by Cowton. Finally picked up by Hodgman. Shot across the centre half forward. Glendenning have a tussle there. Couldn't hold the mark. And finally it comes down to Clayton. He's grabbed but still gets his kick. Back there towards McDonald, who's well held that time. It could be holding the ball, but the umpire said yes. Holding the ball. Well tackled that time by Parrish, and he's been one of their star players today. He's had 24 kicks and 12 hand passes. A very creative player, Parrish. Short pass that time, and it's marked here by Thornton. Finally over to Leon Harris. And there's a pass coming here to Gary Sidebottom. They're doing as they like. Another short pass. Where are these North Melbourne players? We see the ball grabbed by Rendell, who's kicked 7 goals up to this stage of the match and really got him when the pressure was on Fitzroy. Short pass, and the mark taken by Wilson. As I said before, there should be a recount. Another short pass, and Rendell's got a chance to put goal number 8 on the board. And, of course, goal number 34 for Fitzroy. Rendell's kicked 7 goals so far. Waiting on Matt Rendell. There's the kick. And it's a goal. So 8 goals to Rendell. And the score is 34 goals. 15, 219 Fitzroy to North Melbourne, 10 goals, 10-70. Well, that's 21 goals to 2 since half-time. And that sort of football will beat any side, but the resistance here today by North Melbourne's been pretty feeble. We see Quinlan on the screen there. He's kicked 7 goals up to this stage of the match. So you've got 2 kicking 7, and Rendell, that's Quinlan and Conlon kicking 7 each, and Rendell kicking 8. Ball finally picked up here now by Osborne. Goes a short pass out to Harris. Harris out there on that half-forward flank is ready to go for a hand pass. Over it goes to Wilson. Another one back to Sidebottom. Gets around his opponent. A shot at goals. And the crowd go, oh, how did you miss that? And it's through for a point. Bad luck that time. 34-16, 220 Fitzroy to North Melbourne, 10-10-70. And we're just on the 31-minute mark of this, the last quarter. And I bet every North Melbourne player wished the siren would have gone about halfway through the third quarter. We see the ball finally driven up there by McDonald, looking for Glendenning. And he's got the mark. A hand pass coming back here now. Fury goes down. They just swamp him now, and Carlson breaking clear. But the umpire's found a free kick. It could be in the back to Fury, and he'll take the free kick out there at half forward for North Melbourne. Could have been a sympathy, that one, to try and make their score look a little bit better. There's the siren to win the match. And of course, at the end of the game, 34-16.
Williams now, the short pass, the sun in